Hi, and welcome to Dramatic Knits. My name is Steve, also known as Dramatic Knits.
And I'm Callie, also known as Calsters.
And today is Sunday, January 22nd, 2017. This is episode 274. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back one more week. And if you're new, hopefully you enjoyed today's show and you'll come back in the future. So how you all been? It's been 2 very busy weeks on our behalf. Went by in a whirlwind, but we got progress to show, so no worries there. And of course, some chit-chatting and what have you. So, hopefully your new year is starting off on a good note. I know mine is, and I hope yours is for the most part. We have a guest star with us today. Come on up. There you go. Ernest is up here with us. Corn dog Cornelius, my Karen Terrier, is downstairs. Probably zonked out on the couch. So let's do a quick 2 weeks in review. It has been very busy here in the Leading Men Fiber Arts studio. Dyeing, rescanning, packaging, shipping out orders, and we are working our hardest to get our year in review and Yarn Hoarder pre-orders out the door, and we are getting very close to getting that wrapped up. And it's just in time for February pre-orders to open up here in the next 9 days or so, which I'll be showing that colorway here in just a little bit, so I'm excited to share that with you all. And other than that, I had a dentist appointment this past Wednesday. Ooh. It was just a cleaning, even though they don't label it that, so that my insurance won't really cover that, because, you know. Anyway, they pretty much said things were going really well, so I get to go back to now every 6 months, which is good, because it's expensive after a while, especially when they want you to pay $45 for them to paint fluoride on your teeth in about 22 seconds exactly, you know. But, you know, whatever. So, if it makes my teeth better, all the better. Other than that, I've got some faculty meetings coming up this next 2 weeks, and I'm being evaluated this year, so there's a lot of paperwork and rigmarole and data with that, and they're just a whole bunch of hoops they want you to jump through that they don't really, down you go, they don't really, you know, I don't think look at all that much, and most of the time they want you to just do what they want you to do because it reflects on their evaluation, so whatever. Won't get into that. So that's been my 2 weeks. I can't really think of anything else. I've gone to knitting the past 2 Saturdays, and that's been enjoyable. And yeah, so I won't bore you anymore with my 2 weeks.
My 2 weeks have been equally busy, if not a little bit more. Last week had a really, I don't want to say unpleasant. I knew it was coming. But I will have to have surgery in the next month or 2, so getting all of the paperwork done for that is been fun. And there's a lot of things in the air that I could have it, I could not have it, but they're still recommending it. So it's just a matter of when it will actually happen, and that does not make me super, you know, really enjoy this is when it's going to happen, this is what to expect, etc. So, but all is good, and in the long run, it is going to be really great for me, so I really appreciate that, and I'm not really concerned.
Okay.
I know that a lot of folks that I have told in my family or my coworkers are like, aren't you a little nervous about that? And like, yes, I am, in terms of like, my mom's side of the family doesn't do well to anesthesia. I have not had that problem, and I hope that continues to not be a problem, so that would be great. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the benefits of having the surgery done, so I will leave it at that. And then we had our all-team meeting for 4-H this past week, and it was good. It was interesting to find some of the data trends that we have been tracking for the last couple of years, to see those numbers finally reported. Some of it confirmed what we were thinking was going on, and some of it excelled our expectations, so that's really good. And then yesterday I was in Chicago for a friend's grandmother passed away, and that was really sad, but the service that they did for her grandmother was exceptionally beautiful. a lot of her church family was there. The pastor gave a really great sermon. It was just a really nice homegoing celebration in a very difficult time for all of the family and friends that knew her grandmother so well. So that was, like, Mom and I were talking about how my grandmother will eventually pass, and so it was kind of, one of those things to be able to see how this is going to look and what, kind of get some of those emotions past. But it was really good. And then we went shopping afterwards, which is always a great ending to any day. So I got 2 new pairs of shoes, and I found something that I've been looking for a really long time at TJ Maxx, and I was really happy about it because I've been looking for it for several months now, and yesterday morning I was going to buy it from LL Bean because I knew they had it, but I was not really willing to spend that much money. Found it at TJ Maxx, and it was less than half the cost of what LL Bean was asking for it, I didn't have to pay shipping. And that made me really happy, and especially because I had a $10 off coupon, so then it dropped it down to like $6.
Not to interrupt you, speaking of money, I want to ask your opinion. So, didn't tell you this. We made a somewhat, not impulsive, we've been talking about it for probably 2 to 3 years, but rather impulsive yesterday, made the decision and bought, from QVC, a Sleep Number adjustable bed. And I want to know, do any of you have a Sleep Number adjustable bed? What are your thoughts? We got a split king so that we could adjust on our own terms and have different sleep numbers and all that stuff. Turns out they just ship it to you. You have to put it together yourself. No headboard. A little disappointed with that. No takeaway of your bed. So, but I was wondering if anybody, I was trying to look on reviews online, and of course you can find reviews on their website, which can be...
It's hard to navigate.
Yeah, well, and it's just, they can be skewed sometimes, I think. You know what I mean? But I'm excited. I've had some back issues the past over a year and a half, sleeping through the night, so I'm thinking maybe if that happens, I can sit up in the middle of the night and kind of relieve some of that stress on my back. I don't know. So, plus, leading man snores, so, if I can prop him up like the commercial shows and get him to stop snoring. Yeah, so we're excited. That'll be here, mid-February, so. Anyway, back to you.
Fun fact about my Aunt Bessie, who, she and I had the same birthday. She has passed away it has been a few years since she's passed away. But she was a huge QVC shopper and was eventually not allowed to order because she would order and then ship it back and order and then ship it back. And, I think part of that magnificence of it, if you will, is that she got to talk to the host a couple of times, and she'd, recorded on the VCR back in those days. And it was just a hoot. I mean, who says that they have been banned from QVC? My Aunt Bessie can.
Well, the thing that got us was it's you have 100 days to return it. So we're I just am at the point where I didn't want to finagle with it anymore. But I'm we're buying a bed we've never felt. But when we called, we asked, what's the return policy? Do we have to pay to ship it back? And it was very vague. But leading man went ahead with it anyway. I think anything's going to be better than what we're currently on. So, but anyway, anything more to your week in review?
Nope, it's been a pretty good week full of enlightening things. So, both this week and last week. So, and I started my gym workout, so that was good.
That's good. That's excellent. I have been eating out more than I'd like to admit, so, there's always that. And I found this amazing dish at this little diner that I never was really appealed with, kind of on the outskirts of town. We've eaten there once, and I had gotten, they served breakfast all day, so I got this, layered breakfast of, everything on top of biscuits, and it was delicious. So, that's good, that I found that, because that's going to be so good for my cholesterol and my stomach. Anyway, let's get to what's taking about. I have a finished object. I do.
I do not.
Weren't you close?
I was very close, but this week, with running between the doctors and talking to insurance, has been a little bit of a crazy chaos.
Well, I finished my Yarn Hoarder stockinette boomerang. So I was knitting this out of our January colorway of the month, which is called Yarn Hoarder, which is based and inspired off of our friend Amber, who has the Yarn Hoarder podcast on YouTube. Check it out. If you're watching us, you probably know. And if you are new to our show from her show, thank you for checking us out. We appreciate it. So this is the Yarn Hoarder colorway. And I knit this. This is out of Leading Men Fiber Arts Showstopper on a size 6 US, which is a 4mm. And I did it stockinette with just 3 stitches of garter on either end. You can see the crease there. But I just wet blocked this, and I didn't pin it out. I just laid it out. I did a couple rows of garter on the edge here. And I'm super happy with it because the size is bigger than the garter stitch sizes. And I'm setting a goal for myself for 2017 to knit a boomerang a month because I'd like to stay on top of our new colorways, and even the 2 months that we take off of new colorways, I would like to do maybe a past colorway or something. So, but I need to take a picture of this afternoon on the mannequin downstairs, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might hold on to them for a while. I may eventually sell them on the website. I may put them up on my Etsy shop, which has kind of been defunct. I'm not sure, but I'm really happy with it. So there's that. And hey, look, I can wear that with... this is my Portage sweater, by the way, that I finished last February. It's been a year. I have another sweater on the needles that won't be done till probably this fall, knowing me. But sweaters are a commitment for me, so there's that. Anyway, hey, I might keep this on.
This looks rather dashing on you.
Isn't it with the pink and everything?
You know,
it's subtle though.
I think you should keep that one though, not get rid of it.
It's not for me, so, or my colors, so I don't know what I would do with it. Lord knows you have enough in my boomerang.
I guess.
So yeah, that's all that I finished. Really enjoyable though.
Cool.
All right, let's move into what is performing this week. Sorry, my show notes are kind of all over the place. So, what's performing? First up is my Rogers S Cardigan Jacket by Mary Townsend out of Barocco Weekend DK in color number 2144, which is squash, and a size 3 and 5 US, 3.25 and 3.75 millimeters. So, that is in this one. I have to remember what bag it's in. And I can't remember. Oh, last week I had not finished the first front because I had to do the little behind the button band. Don't fly away. We have a fan on, and the show notes want to go away. This is the right front, this right here. And then this goes behind the collar and gets seamed to the back. So I finished that, and I started the left front. And this one includes buttonholes. So I finished the ribbing, and then I'm in the stockinette, and I have to do 6 buttonholes up the body. And you can see here, and if you can see, there's 2. That's because, again, this is folded and then seamed, and they line up.
Oh, that'll be a stronger button.
And it's got that, nice edge on the sides and whatnot. So both edges are folded and seamed, so they're double thick. So they were pretty simple for the instructions being vague but yet rather wordy. This was pretty simple to follow the buttonholes. So I've done my measurements with how long I knit my body to figure out how many I have to do it every 3.6 inches to evenly space them out. So there's that. And then next up on my show notes is my 14 Karat by Michelle Hunter. And I'm using Madeline Tosh sock in the Dust Weaver colorway on size 7 US, which is 4.5 millimeter needles. And this is now 10 out of 14 repeats through the body. And I'm halfway through the 10th repeat, so we're going. And again, all that. And I'm into my 3rd ball. So there's that. It's got the nice diamond motif at the side and bottom. And again, this is folded and is made into a poncho. So That's half of it. It's starting to get a little heavy, but I think it'll be really nice. And if you can see there, the subtle purple and gray, it's a glorious color. But unfortunately, I think it's one of those, if you find it, it's slightly different every time. You know what I mean? Each dye lot is slightly different. So, but that's the nature of hand-dyed yarns. I'm not sure if I found it in a different shop, in another lot, that I would love it as much as I do for this project. And next up is my Find Your Fade, yes, for our multicolor shawl knit along, which we'll talk about in a little bit. This is by Andrea Mowry, and I've listed in the show notes, which can be found at dramaticknits.com, all 7 yarns that I'm using. I'll tell you the one that I've finished, or I'm working on finishing, and I'm fading into my 3rd color. So I'm moving out of Knitting Colors Acoustic Sock in Death Rides a Horse colorway, and I'm moving into Hedgehog Fibers Sock in the Film Noir colorway. And I just brought in the 3rd color. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I guess I could hold my legs up so they're not folding down. I just brought in the 3rd color. And so there's Death Rides a Horse. And then you can see I'm striping in the Film Noir, which looks... This is what Death Rides a Horse looks like. And this is Film Noir. So... Speckled goodness!
Are you enjoying the pattern?
I am. I just wish I had more time to knit on it. So... But we do... Our knit along does go till the end of March, so will I make that? I don't know. But I will enjoy knitting along with everybody. Life is a bit crazy, and I'm not telling myself that I have to be done. You know, I'm enjoying the ride, and if not, there's always the redemption Cal that I'm sure we will do again later this year. So
I saw Megan from the Stockinette Zombie. She finished hers on Instagram, and she had her 3 kids on one on each side, and I was like, holy cow. Like, it's that big. Is insanely huge.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that could cover most of my car hood and then, like, my windshield.
Yeah, it's big. The last thing I'm working on features our new February 2017 Leading Men Fiber Arts Colorway of the Month, which is our Valentine's Day colorway this year. But it doesn't scream Valentine's. In fact, it screams fall. And it's called Love You to Pieces, and it's inspired by Reese's Pieces. And I can thank my... local yarn store owner for the inspiration, and we decided to go with it. So here's what it looks like balled up. It's got the 3 colors of Reese's Pieces, and sorry, our lighting, the sun is coming in. But you can, I think, see it better knit up. So I'm doing another stockinette boomerang shocker so that I can take swatch photos. But that is what it looks like. So...
It makes me want to have Reese's Pieces now.
I'm really enjoying it, and the orange isn't as pow as I was originally intending, but I really like that actually for the fact that it's Valentine's Day, it's romantic, it's a little bit softer and subtle with the gorgeous speckling there. So, and I think it's versatile for all year. You can do it for Valentine's Day because you know what the name of the colorway is, and you can wear it throughout the year. So, if you like Reese's Pieces, there you go. So enjoying that. That's kind of my go-to knitting while I'm rescanning and things of that nature. And that's it. I don't think I really worked on my granny square sock yarn blanket, so I'm going to knit and let Callie talk for a little bit.
So, as I had mentioned, it's been really busy. And when I was at All Team, I usually knit during All Team, but we got the agenda the day before, and I saw it was very hands-on. So I thought, and it was not very hands-on, and then that made me cranky because I did not bring my knitting.
Lesson learned. Always bring it.
I know. And actually one of my coworkers in a different county was like, you didn't bring your knitting? Like, I brought my knitting because you get away with it. Like, our state staff knows that I knit and knows that I knit during every meeting, so it's not like they have... any problems with it, but anyways, otherwise I would have had these bad boys done. But I'm working on Hermione's Everyday socks, and I'm knitting it on size US zeros. The cuff, heel, and toe are going to be in Malabrigo sock in the chocolate colorway. And then the leg and the foot of the sock are in Madeline Tosh sock Earl Grey colorway. So there you can see a little bit better. But I'm really enjoying this. I should have it done, the first sock done today. And then I will cast on the next one.
Awesome.
So.
Is that all you're working on?
Actively right now, yes, I do need to finish going in rehearsal. I do need to finish the baby blanket that I started back on Thanksgiving, because baby shower is in February, and so I'm cutting it real close with this one. But thanks to y'all's help, I have now selected a pattern in which will hopefully not take me as long. And I say that knowing that we both know that I'm lying, that I will not get it done by February 20th, but
maybe February 20th, 2018. That's your trend.
Yeah.
First birthday.
Hey, it's okay. Lennox, for those that follow me on Instagram, Lennox was the baby that I was holding in my most recent photo from yesterday. By this time that you watch this episode, I'm not really for sure where I'll be on my Instagram feed, but Lennox is 8 months. He will be turning 9 months February 8th, and I still have not knit him his blanket.
I'd say that's probably just let that go. You know what I mean? Like, by the time you do get to it and get it done.
Well, Asia has kind of reminded me that I promised her one, and she's holding me accountable, so.
Well, then. You dug your own hole on that one.
I know. I might actually quilt his, though.
There you go.
Because I have some perfect fabric for him.
Cool.
So that's kind of what I'm going to be working on.
Awesome. I don't have anything in rehearsal because, I'm working on the boomerangs and whatnot. And like I said, all my other projects are just monstrosities. So that's pretty much it for me. Moving into behind the scenes, my spinning, I don't have anything to show you. I'm still working on the second 2 ounces of Gail's Art Mix BFL. It did not have a colorway name. I'm calling it Desert Rose. I did a skein of this earlier, and I had a second 4-ounce bump that I needed to spin up for commission spinning. And so that's what I'm working on my Hanson e-spinner. So hopefully by the next time we see each other, I can show you some plied yarn. Don't hold me to it. Things are crazy around here right now. But so let's move into the spotlight. What are we watching and reading? I swear I finished a book, but I cannot tell you what it's called.
I bet I could.
I don't know. But, so I know I finished a book. I'm watching, what am I watching? Oh, Teachers, the show that I was watching last year that features a colleague of mine that studied theater ed with me at Illinois State and has been part of an improv group that was picked up for a show on TV Land called Teachers. Season 2 premiered this past week. It was funny, Is it the best TV on the airwaves? No, but they write. It's completely done by them. They produce and write the show. So, it's an all-female run production for the most part. I mean, other than, a lot of the major stuff. So, there's a lot of hard work that goes into that, and I'm very, very proud of them. And again, it's just, I enjoy that because of the teacher aspect in me. So, watching that, I know we finished the Great American Baking Show. We watched the finale of that. The person that I thought would win won, so I was happy for that. It's just an interesting, different take, the American show, because you can tell that they probably take 3 or 4 weeks and film the whole thing, whereas in Britain, they go home every week because it's a much smaller country. You can take the train or drive, back home for the week and continue your jobs, whereas these people are from all over the United States, unless wider expanse, and to have to take Fridays and then Mondays to travel and come back, it wouldn't be worth it. So they I think they just keep taping. So people were missing their families and whatnot, and I'm sure that's exhausting on them. And also, I talked about this last time, they went down to just 2 for the finalists, and in Britain they usually do 3, so enjoyed that. And I swear there was something else that started watching, but I don't think so. We did watch a movie last night. Yeah. We were trying to spend some time together. We watched The Boss with Melissa McCarthy, and Kristen Bell. And I enjoyed it. Did I think it was her best movie? No. But did I go along for the ride and enjoy it? Absolutely. It was fun. So, anyway.
I have actually been reading quite a bit. My goal for my readings, my Goodreads challenge is 36 books, and I'm at book 5. Or I have finished 5 books, so that's really good for me.
I think you're ahead of me, and I do remember the name of the book, but I'll try not to forget it when she's done.
Okay, I've got your account pulled up too.
Huh. She's such a sweetheart.
So the first book that I finished this past 2 weeks was You Will Not Have My Hate by Anton Laris. I don't know how to say his name correctly, but his wife died in the Paris bombings, and it was. I feel like most people that have a Facebook account probably saw his original post right after the bombings about how he was saying that these individuals that committed this crime will not have his hate, and here's the reason why. But, it's a very interesting short novel. I'd almost say... or memoir. It was very, very short, 100 or so pages. It was a lot of really tough grief to get through. And in some ways, he's not giving the individuals that committed the crimes his hate, but he's kind of in a place where he doesn't really understand how to process a lot of things. So it's very interesting. The next book I read was The Keys by DJ Khaled. If you listen to Top 40, you probably have heard of DJ Khaled in some kind of fashion. I really enjoyed this book. DJ Khaled has been around for a really long time as far as DJs on the scene. He's out of Miami, Orlando. He's done a lot of producing of music, a lot of directing, and all kinds of stuff. He has his hands in a lot of different things, and he's very, very successful. So it was interesting to see some of his viewpoints on, or his keys to life and success in business. I highly recommend it. You also have to read it knowing that he speaks the way that he writes. So just keep that in mind. And in some points he does sound very narcissistic, but I mean, he's got the proof to his name. And then I've been rereading a series of Unfortunate Events. I don't have Netflix, so that was not my inclination to read them. It was one of my goals for 2017 was to reread the series anyways. I just happened to start it the weekend that it premiered on Netflix. So I finished The Bad Beginning, that was book number 1, and The Reptile Room, which was book number 2. And I really enjoyed The Reptile Room. It was the first book in the series that I read. And that's what drew me in. I never really started a series on book 2, but when I was younger, I did. And it was very good. It was very enjoyable, and rereading it again made me fall in love with the series, because I don't really enjoy the first novel, but I really think that book 2 kind of solidified my decision to keep reading. So, yeah.
I finished Jacoby, which is by, I don't know who it's by. If Callie brings it up, she could tell you, but yeah. I don't know. But it was kind of a paranormal Sherlock, set in about the same time, but in eastern United States. And I thought it was enjoyable. I felt like the protagonist kind of was very understanding of just accepting all these paranormal things. There was not a whole lot of processing of it, you know what I mean, and distrusting of it, and then acceptance. It was just acceptance. So that was interesting.
It was by William Ritter.
Oh, thank you.
Ritter.
So I did get that as a daily deal. I've been snagging some daily deals, and I had to stop myself because I have, a back stock of books I need to get through now. So there's that. And let's talk about our multicolored shawl knit along. So we're co-hosting this with Amber of the Yarn Hoarder podcast. And this is running from January 1st through March 31st. And it can be any shawl as long as it is multicolored. There has been people entering that have, it's all one skein of yarn, but it has multicolors in the skein of yarn. And, that is multicolored. That's perfectly fine. And it can be a work in progress. So if you finish something up, as long as you had to do some knitting besides, just weaving in ends, that's not actually knitting. But as long as you had to bind off and knit a few stitches, you can put it in there. And don't know what the prizes will be, but for every 50 entries we'll add an additional prize. I know that Amber has some really awesome prizes, and you can enter your shawl into both groups. If you use any base of Leading Men Fiber Arts in any part of your shawl, you can enter it in the Dramatic Knits video podcast group twice to get 2 entries into our drawing for that. And I think that's pretty much it on that. So, stash enhancement. I picked up some yarn last weekend. I had a little bit of money left on a gift card from Christmas, and I picked up some clearance yarn from my LYS. So I was trying to help her clear out the back room, and I was like, hey, I wanted to try these yarns. So the first one is kind of a hot mess of a skein, and that's why I took it, because, I feel bad for those lonely skeins that look bad, and if I'm like, oh, I'm buying clearance yarn anyway, I'll figure it out. So this is Barocco Voyage, which is unfortunately discontinued. It's black. It doesn't look like much. You won't be able to see what I'm going to talk about here, but it's a different construction that I've never tried before. It's like an I-cord construction with nylon, because it's made up of 93% superfine alpaca, 7% polyester. So the I-cord is almost like the polyester, and then it's like alpaca that is shot into the tube of the I-cord. So interesting construction. I wanted to try it. It is an Aran weight, and you get 125 yards to 50 grams. So I also picked up another alpaca, which is a DK weight, which is Sandsgarn, Sandas alpaca. It's in a foreign language, but it's in a teal, and it is 100% alpaca, pure alpaca, and you get 110 meters to 50 grams. I actually paired these together, even though it's a DK and an Aran, but I paired it to do the Tart Pop Art hat by Sarah Abram that we reviewed her Squad Accessories book. So I thought this teal would really pop against the black and be the dots, whereas the black would be the main hat. So eventually that will get there. And I think that's it. Do you have any stash enhancement?
I do.
Okay.
And I was in the
then we got to
middle
go
of
back
the
and do in the scene shot, because
Yes.
I didn't put it on my show notes, and I've got stuff to show.
So a wonderful viewer sent yarn for Steve and I, but mostly for me. And I'm very appreciative, and she wishes to remain anonymous, so thank you very much. You know
She's
who you
kind
are.
of a fairy yarn mother,
Yes.
as Silly Free likes to say. She is our fairy yarn mother, let's just be honest. We have a couple. Blessed that way.
Yes, and very much appreciated. Definitely never expected. Very much appreciated. I was making sure that the address did not show. So the first thing was Knit Picks palette. It's 100% Peruvian wool in the apricot colorway. And I do really enjoy this, and I have a good idea of what I'm going to do with this. There is 231 yards to this. The next thing that was sent is Imagine Chic Studio. I think I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right?
Unique Chic.
Unique Chic. It's written in cursive. It's not a just to...
Yeah, it's a weird fancy font.
Yes. But there's 2 skeins of this. In the Airy base, it's 80% Tussa silk, 20% merino wool. It's 1,000 yards, and this is in the colorway Fresh. So, Steve was saying that when he was chatting with this, the individual that donated this, that he was going to convince me to do a cardigan that he made his sister that I may be coveting and have coveted for a very long time.
I can't remember the name of it, but I did it out of Volmisa lace.
Yes.
And it's one of those, kind of like, it was actually almost this color, but it's one of those drape front triangle fronts that really hang down in the front, and it's a lot of knitting. It's almost like a rectangle to the front, but it's super easy, but it's a lot of knitting, a lot of mindless knitting. So I was like, you know, don't put any pressures on yourself, but you got enough yardage, you got lace weight, and I think it would push Callie outside of her wheelhouse of colors.
Yeah.
And
I'm
that's not
much,
a bad thing.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, and you know, because we both buy the same colors in almost everything. Like, when we're at the store, like, haha, I got your skein. So, I'm very excited. I will definitely look at the pattern and see my capabilities, because of the surgery, I will have some time off. It just depends on how long that time off is based on the procedure. So, and then also there was this kit this individual put together to make the Stephen West Mystery Shawl in 2013. And
I'm not sure what that one was actually called. Is that the Exploration Station? Or the... I don't know if it says it on there, because... So... Not sure.
Not for sure, but I do like the colors together. And I'm gonna look that up, because I think you're right. I think it's the Exploration Station. But she sent the 3 yarns to make it up. So,
and again, it's pushing you out of your wheelhouse, I think, which is good.
So, I do like these. And these are, the red one is Ella Ray in the lace merino base in the color terracotta. So that one. The green mossy colorway is in Sincere Sheep, and it is in the Quercus
sure.
colorway. It's 100% super wash blue face luster. It's made in Napa Valley, so that's kind of neat. I've heard of this yarn company, but I've never had the chance to look at it in person. And the last colorway does not have a ball band with it, but it is still beautiful nonetheless. And you're right, I probably would not have put these 3 colors together.
I definitely think the moss green and the terracotta go together very well. And that other one gives it a Stephen West pop.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
And I think you're right. Like, I'm not afraid of colors. Like, I enjoy color. I wear a lot of different colors. We've talked about creating a Callie colorway of some sort, and it's all over the board. I'm like, this is my color, this is my jam, and Steve's like, that's like one of like 78,000 of your jams. So I do like this, and I'm going to keep it the way it is and do it because I need to challenge myself. So, awesome. Year of 2017. So behind the scene shop.
In the scene shop, our other crafting. Because as I told you last time, I was getting back into the cross stitch. I got the bug while I was on winter break. And I finished a cross stitch that I was working on for quite a long time, that I had picked up the pattern and all the materials at our local needle workshop, which is the Counted Needle in Bloomington, Illinois. And they do custom framing there. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to invest. I used a gift card from Christmas, and I got it framed, and I'm so happy with it. I picked out the frame. I decided to put glass on it. It turned out beautifully. She made the cross stitch look amazing, which is what a good framer should do, especially if they're based out of a needle workshop. So I'm just really hoping that they're going to be around for a while, and be able to work with some of my finished pieces. So this is the design Begin Row by Bent Creek, and I did this on 14 count Aida using DMC floss. And guys, I'm so happy with this. So I did this black frame to really pull out the black text in Begin, and then it looks almost varnished or rubbed away to the natural wood, which really pulls out the Aida color, the tan Aida color. So super happy with this, guys. I'm so excited to hang this up. And the finishing work is just amazing. Yeah. I mean, they give you everything to hang. There is felt pads to not, brush up against the walls. They have additional hardware on the back. I just was thoroughly, it was not the cheapest thing by any means. In fact, it was probably about 4 times as much as what it costs for the materials. But if you're going to put that much time and work into it, that's what they say about sweaters, right? And finishing work and knitting. This is finishing work that I didn't have to do, and I didn't really want to, so I was happy to do that. So really super pleased with this. It's been sitting on the chair that Callie's sitting on in my office, and I'm waiting to hang it up. So got to get Leading Man to do that, but super excited about that. Then I had started, I showed you last week, the beginnings of a new kit by Dimensions, and it's called In the Moment, and it looks like this. Live Life in the Moment. And it came with 14 count Aida, stiff as a board. I was not having any fun working on it. I continued to work on it for another week or so, and then last weekend I had gone into Hobby Lobby for something, and I said, you know what? I've got a 40% off. I'm going to pick up a piece of fabric, and I'm going to try 28 count, because for those of you that don't do cross stitch, I didn't know this. 28 count is how many holes in the fabric, the weave, per inch. 14 count Aida, 28 count, that's double the amount of holes, but you then do over 2 stitches rather than over 1 when you're cross stitching, which this is like a whole new world. It's like butter. It's amazing. I love it. I can stitch faster. My finger is not worn out and hurting from trying to push the needle through. I can find where the needle and thread needs to go so much quicker. And I've been working on this slowly but surely. So I started in the middle, and I'm working on the letter N in, and here's where I'm at. So there's a lot of excess fabric in here. I also picked up on Etsy from Maggie's Minders. This is Stash Enhancement. This is a grind guard so that I can hold on to the sides. And even though, if I wash my hands or whatnot, grease, oil from your skin can get all over the fabric. So, and this also allows me to tuck the fabric in and not have it just hanging out. So I did pick up this Q-snap as well when I picked up my framed picture. This is an 8-inch square Q-snap. I am going to go in when my Haid kit gets here and get an 11 by 17 to have a little bit more larger working space for my Haid kit. So I may actually start 2 cross stitches depending on if I can, because this is going to take me a while, and I really want to do the Haid too, so if I switch back and forth. But I learned how to do holding 2 different colors together to heather, and to do half stitches, which is also called tent stitch. I learned this week. So if you hear that, tent stitch is also just pretty much what a half stitch is. You don't have to go back and cross the other way. It's quicker. So there's that. Maggie's Minders also was very generous and gave me a coupon code for my next purchase. But she also threw in another needle minder that is what this is, and it allows me to attach my needle. It's magnetic. And this is actually going to go to Callie for when she gets back into her cross-stitching or wants a magnet, because it says Froggy Love on it for, like frogging your stitches. And I guess she also probably sent it because I got frogs. This was just the color scheme I liked. She had a lot of different things, and she makes them to order, so you can pick the fabric and then pick the size of Q-snap or frame that you want the grind guard for. So loving that. So that's what's in the scene shop this week.
Cool.
And you, I don't think I've worked on anything.
I have not.
All right, so a round of applause. Before we go into our race to the finished object talk, we were generously, very generously, gifted review products, which we reviewed before, but it begs to be reviewed again. And this person has also generously given you guys a coupon code for the next 6 months. For the first 6 months of 2017. So that would be the wonderful Darlene from Bags by Awesome Granny. And she personally sewed up 2 project bag sets for Callie and I, and also has generously given a bag set for you all to win of your choice. So we will be putting a thread up. When I do show notes, I'll put a thread up. But let me talk to you and show you, let us show you the bags that we got and talk to you about what we like about Darlene's bags. This is my 3rd bag, and by her. She gifted me one before. I've been gifted one by a friend, the beaver one, the lumberjack beavers. And then this is my new one, which is library books, or bookshelf. It's even got, like, the detail is just really nice on this fabric. So,
for me, I have purchased a bag set and a Notions bag from her before, and I use it all the time. Not necessarily for knitting, but I use it for a lot of things. And mine is jungle safari cuteness. I can't even.
So this is probably, I would say, the size she's most well known for. She does do a variety of sizes. All the ones that I have are in this size. And while it is a large bag, I do love this size to carry pretty much any project. But especially if you're going to do something like Find Your Fade or a sweater, you can fit it all in here. And her sets usually always come with a Notions pouch as well, with a lovely detail on the side, as well as zipper and ribbon. And inside comes a little organza bag with her business card and a very nice stitch pull with her logo on it, or zipper pull. So,
I wanted to say something about Darlene's bags. One, yes, totally love. The thing that someone told me, and I don't know if they wish their family's health issues aired, so I'm not going to say who it was, but said that they are, or I saw it on a podcast, I'm not for sure, but somewhere I heard that this is the perfect size for diabetes care. So I actually have one that contains my Notions, and I have one that I ordered from Darlene that contains my meter, and it also contains extra testing strips and the lancets, thank you, for my travel. So it is really convenient. I also have a 3rd one that I was given that holds my GPS in my car. So if they're not just for knitting. I use mine quite a bit, and I mean, we all know that I'm a bag whore anyways, so I really love Darlene's work. I mean, she is attention to detail for sure.
Especially because if you look at, like, our interior fabrics, like, hers color matches, which is awesome, but mine is text, which goes with the books, right? It's like pages in a book. The attention to detail is amazing.
Yeah.
Again, there's a larger ring on the side, which is very well, this is...
you could do stitch
This
markers
is unique
on
to
it.
her.
Yeah.
You can attach a carabiner. And what I love is a lot of bags have these kind of straps to either hold on to while you're zipping and things, which I found I really like. But it's large enough to fit a hand through. And I'm talking a man hand as well. Because a lot of times when I go into knitting, I'm carrying other things or other project bags, or I've got my Starbucks string, and I just throw it on my wrist to carry it in. Now, would I always carry and knit like this? With this size, it might be a little big, but to carry other things, like your drinking and knitting and things like that, great for that.
Or, I mean, like, you could easily fit a project in here, plus your Notions bag, plus, like maybe a small sock project or something like that. Sometimes I will use her bag, the one that I have that's of the bigger size, I will use it for packing cubes in my suitcase. So I know packing cubes are readily available. You can buy them on Amazon. They can run anywhere from like $4 for like a small one to like $16 or $17 for a bigger one, and that's like not name brand or anything. what I like about Darlene's is that I can put all of my, things into one of these, lay it flat, and it'll be in my bag, my rolly suitcase. And I really appreciate that because, again, knitting, travel, whatever. I mean, you can find 1,000 different uses for it. So I just wanted to reiterate that.
So Darlene has given us a very generous coupon code for you all through June.
Yes. And it is Dramatic Knits 15. That's DRAMATICKNITS, the number 1 and the number 5.
And those will be listed in our show notes for the entirety of the coupon. We may not mention it every week, but they will be in our show notes. And that gets you 15% off, I'm correct?
Yes, 15% off.
Okay. Good through the end of June. So we really appreciated that. And Darlene is amazing, as always. And she is willing and generous enough to give away a bag set to you all. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a thread, and I think the prompt is going to be, what do you look for in a knitting bag? Or what do you like best in a bag? So that, maybe she could use that for crowdsourcing if she's ever looking to include other details or add other options to her bags. She could, use that as a crowdsource. So thank you so much, Darlene. We really do appreciate the bags that you sent us, and they will be put to good use. I'm sure I will be bringing this. I'm sure we'll bringing ours probably to the Knitting Pipeline Retreat next month. So I do need to talk about that later. Don't let me forget.
Okay.
All right. So moving on, we want to talk to you about our January Race to the Finished Object contest. That's going to be coming to a close soon, but February will be opening. Anything you finish in the month of January, you can post into the thread. One post per finished object that you finish in January, doesn't matter when it's been started. We have 2 wonderful prizes. The first one will show when we pull for winners next time we record. And the second prize is from our featured designer, who is Jenny Santro Pietro on Ravelry, and we will link to her pattern page on our show notes. So thank you, Jenny, for being our featured designer. She'll be with us January through March. So I think that's pretty much it for our regularly scheduled show. Yes. But we're going to go into center stage, all things leading on Fiber Arts, if you care to stick around with us. So let's just start off with February's colorway of the month, Love You to Pieces. There we go. The pre-orders for this will be up February 1st through February 8th, and they will ship out no later than the end of the month. So, again, it's an all seasons colorway, even though it is Love You to Pieces. So we're excited for that. And that'll be available on all of our bases. I do want to tell you that our year in review kits, both mini skein kits and Showstopper full skein, Show Stealer full skein, the 3 options, have been going like hotcakes. Boy, you guys have been keeping us busy, and we are so very, very grateful for your support in our small business. So pre-orders for those have been open all month of January. They will be closing on January 31st. So if you're interested, get in your orders. I know the full skein kits, we have officially put a cap on those due to availability of some of the parts that go into the kit. So what's there is there. Mini skein kits are getting pretty close to being capped out as well. So check that out at our shop, which is leadingmenfiberarts.bigcartel.com. Alrighty, that being said, we have our year in review knit along going on in the Leading Men Fiber Arts group. That's going January through February, and you can use any base of Leading Men Fiber Arts, but it must be in one of the 10 colorways that premiered in 2016. Now that just has to be one yarn in the project. So if it's a multi-yarn project, it just needs to be one yarn in one of the 10 colorways. We have that listed in the thread for the knit along in our Leading Men Fiber Arts group. And the grand prize for that will be a $50 gift certificate to Leading Men Fiber Arts. So please feel free to join us. It can be big or small, whatever you would like to knit. The last thing I do want to talk about is vending. Our show season is getting ready to gear up here pretty soon. We're a little nervous, but about getting stock. But we're working our tails off as hard as we can. So We will be at the Knitting Pipeline Retreat in Washington, Illinois, Callie and myself, February 17th and 18th. That's a Friday and Saturday. And I know a lot of our friends are going, a lot of local people are going from our local yarn store, which is exciting. Our local yarn store is also going to be one of the featured stores there that'll be vending. And so we're all kind of staying at the same hotel. It's going to be fun. We've never stayed at a hotel before there. We usually drive back because it's just over an hour for us. But we decided we really want to immerse ourselves in that quick 24-hour experience. So Leading Men Fiber Arts will also be vending. It'll be very, very small compared to our normal setup, but some good quality stuff there. And it'll just be me. I'll probably rope Callie into being booth bait and helping me. She did last time she was there. So to kind of keep the crowds at a mess, just whatnot. So that's coming up. And then I can tell you in March, we will be doing a trunk show up in Michigan at, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. That's horrible.
I feel like it's Red something.
No.
Just kidding. I was testing everyone.
There are people that go there. Like, I think... No, I could be totally wrong. There's people up in Michigan that go there that watch the... I can't remember. Anyway, I will get more information for that to you. But that'll be, I think, March 4th. So we'll be nailing down all the details with that. And then March 17th, or March 18th and 19th, I think I'm going down the 17th, or going up. In Madison, Wisconsin, we will be at the Madison Knitters Guild big event there. And we'll be vending, and we're excited. We were invited to vend there. So we're excited to try that event out for the first time. So hopefully, if you're up in those areas, you'll be able to come by and say hi. So let me quickly show you what's been updated in the shop in the past 2 weeks, and then we'll let you go. So you'll see a lot of my bald head as I show you stuff. Last night I updated 4 skeins. I know, we usually do 1 or 2. This was a lot, so you can grab your hands if you're interested. This is the Great Sweater Debate on Showstopper. This was our SSK 2016 colorway that we did for the SSK retreat in Nashville, and it has now been released to the public. And it has been very, very popular. So, on Playbill, which is our single-ply DK 100% superwash merino, we have How You Doin', which is inspired off of one of my ties that I don't really wear anymore because I'm a lazy teacher and I don't dress up. Fleeces and sweaters, the occasional polo. This is Showstopper in Man of Mystery. Show Stealer in The Haunted Wood. Showstopper in Prom Queen. Show Stealer in Vintage Sleigh Ride. Showstopper Fright Night. A little bit of Halloween in January, come on. Playbill, we have Purple Rain. Showcase, we have Darkest Hour. Showstopper, we have Pipeline, which was the colorway I did for the first Knitting Pipeline retreat that I attended. And Showstopper, we have Cherry Pie. Show Stealer Royalty. Show Stealer and with an E. And last but not least is a director's interpretation, which means it's a one-of-a-kind, cannot be repeated. On Show Stealer, I have 2 skeins of this director's interpretation. It's soft gold with speckles of maroon and like 3 different purples. So this was an attempt at a future colorway, and we decided to go with a different option. So you'll be seeing kind of this color scheme later on in the year. But if you're attending Stitches West, you will see this colorway actually in the Little Skein in the Big Wool booth. We're actually doing a collaboration with her, and it's premiering at Stitches West. And so I'm excited about that. So you can check that out. I don't know how much more I can tell. So, but just if you're going to Stitches West, there will be a little bit of Leading Men Fiber Arts there. So excited for that. Anyway, I think that is everything that we have to discuss this episode. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed today's show. As always, you can join our Ravelry group, Dramatic Knits Video Podcast Group, as well as the Lydium and Fiber Arts Ravelry group. And you can find the show on dramaticknits.com. You can subscribe on iTunes or YouTube. And I think that's pretty much it.
I think so.
So, you can find me, by the way, on Instagram as Lydium and Fiber Arts. And you are?
Calsters88.
Check us out. Follow us. We'd love to let you into a little bit of our world. And so, until next week, or next episode.
Yeah, we hope you
knit something dramatic.